Major free agency update. This is absurd. The Rams have some tough decisions on players who need to be cut going into the 2025 NFL season, as well as general manager Les Snead having some fun with the media at OTAs. All that and more on this episode of Rams Digest. And welcome back to another episode of Rams Digest. I'm your host, Joshua Finehirsh. And before we get into today's video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell so you do not miss any daily new Rams Digest content covering all things Rams, OTAs, training camp, and regular season, all that and more here on this channel. And thank you all so much for your comments on my video yesterday about Jaire Alexander. All of you gave some really good in-depth analysis there in the comments, and it means a lot, showing your passion, showing you care, showing you follow the team, because that's what sports is all about. It's all about the family that the fan base builds and the discourse amongst the fans and the media that makes sports so fun to enjoy. But now to our main story of today. The Rams have to make some decisions heading into the 2025 season about some players to cut because they have some more players coming up who are extension eligible, as well as the potential pursuits of Jalen Ramsey or Jaire Alexander. And a story from Yahoo Sports has 4 players who they believe that the Rams should cut heading into this season. We're going to get into it right now. And the Los Angeles Rams aren't strapped for cash, but could cut some players ahead of the 2025 NFL season to create more cap flexibility, open up some roster spots, and give more opportunity for younger players by releasing some expendable options. Yeah, it does make sense. A lot of teams go through this. The big thing right now, I know it's a different sport, but the NBA, the Boston Celtics, are going through a bit of a similar spot right now where they might need to make some trades in order to start building for the future while still keeping some of their good veterans. And that's something the Rams have done very, very well over these last few seasons. So I have no doubt that this will be no issue for this team going forward. LA has around $20.1 million in salary cap space as of this writing per sporadic. Over the cap had it around 19.4, so 19 to 20 million seems about right, thanks to a bevy of young players still on rookie deals. That could change though if the Rams extend Kyren Williams before the season. And here are 4 players who the Rams could cut during summer camps. And that's the important note to keep in mind. That Kyren Williams extension, we've talked about it before here on this channel, both Josh and I, how much Kyren wants. He wants around that $10 million contract, similar to that Josh Jacobs deal that he got, who he is pretty comparable to. Again, the fumbling for him needs to get worked on as well as the explosiveness. But for Kyren Williams, he wants to remain a Ram. Sean McVay seems to believe in him to remain a Ram. So cutting some of these players will make this extension process a little bit easier. And we're going to get into the first player here. Colby Parkinson, the tight end. This is the most obvious one here, given the money saved and the opportunity it would open up for Terrence Ferguson. While releasing Tyler Higbee would also save money, the Rams do like his veteran leadership and experience. Parkinson was a bad pickup a year ago to replace the injured Higbee and would save the Rams $5.25 million in the salary cap, with $4.8 million in dead cap money that they would have to pay him for this season. And that is worth it for the long run, giving him the $4.8 million for this season. Parkinson did not have the best year. He had 30 catches, 294 yards, and 1 touchdown. So not really someone who you're looking at as a pillar of the offense. As someone who you say, oh, that's our TE1 or TE2. No, there's a clear 1-2 hierarchy at the tight end with Higbee and Ferguson. I think they're going to be a 1A, 1B type of deal. Or especially once we get towards the end of the season, we're really going to see Terrence Ferguson and Tyler Higbee really take those 1A and 1B snaps to really open up that passing game for Stafford, and also to run 2 tight end sets to help the blocking game for Kyren Williams. Parkinson has been okay throughout his career. I do think Parkinson is too good to be a TE3 on our roster, so I believe cutting him could also give Parkinson the opportunity to find a spot where he is that clear tight end 2, because he's valuable to have on a roster. He's not a bad NFL player, but last year was not the best for him in a Rams uniform, especially because the Rams weren't really targeting tight ends as a whole that much. Especially also, they have Davis Allen behind him, the 4th string, who's just as good as Parkinson was last year, and he's probably better suited to be a 3rd string. There's no need to keep 4 tight ends. And I do believe it would be a little bit more difficult to trade Parkinson as well, given that bad contract. There's an out after 2025, but it would be for more dead cap money and less salary cap space saved. So I do agree with this one. Comment down below if you agree whether Colby Parkinson should be cut, or if not, should it be Davis Allen or some other position groups that you believe have a good chance of being cut. Now we got to get into Darion Kendrick. The DB. The Rams have a lot of secondary depth, but there are no stars, as we talked about yesterday. If LA wants to add someone like a Jair Alexander or Jalen Ramsey, it would make sense that a corresponding move before or after the fact would be releasing a defensive back like Kendrick, a former 6th-round pick in 2022. Kendrick missed all of last year with a torn ACL. He has 1 career interception and would save the Rams $3.4 million. Now again, I'm one of those players who interceptions aren't everything, unless if you're a ball hawk, like an Ed Reed or someone like that who's really good at getting those interceptions, that it doesn't really matter as long if you're not giving up yards, you're not giving up touchdowns, you're tackling well. I don't really care how many interceptions you get. Passes defense are important. Kendrick had 10 passes defensed in 2023. He's 6 feet, 199, good size for a corner, and he's only going to be 25. So it's not like he's super old. Again, another guy you could cut would be potentially Emmanuel Forbes, although he is a bigger corner at 6'3". He's someone who I believe has proved pretty much the same amount as Darion Kendrick, and Kendrick has at least played in a playoff game and played decently well in that playoff game, whereas Forbes hasn't really proved much at the NFL level. The Commanders pretty much cut ties with him for nothing, and now he's on the Rams trying to make a way for himself here. So I would say to cut Emmanuel Forbes over Darion Kendrick, just because Kendrick has been here before, and I do believe he has more potential for growth than Emmanuel Forbes as well. If you want to go based off of young players' growth potential, I disagree with this one. I would do Emmanuel Forbes. And comment down below as well. Do you believe that the Rams need to cut a DB? I believe they only need to if they do go after Alexander or Ramsey. So let me know. Who would you cut out of the DB room if you could? Because I know in the comments, a lot of you, we're not the biggest fans of some of the people in the DB room, especially the cornerback room, and I do agree with that sentiment a little bit. So comment that down below. And now we have to get to Deshaun Johnson, the defensive tackle. The Rams now have ample defensive tackle depth after adding Ty Hamilton in the 2025 NFL Draft. And Johnson, a 7th-round pick in 2023, has played just 222 snaps in 2 seasons with 3 career sacks and 21 combined tackles. Releasing him would save around $1 million in salary cap. Yeah, I'm fine with this. Deshaun Johnson has not really proven much at the NFL level, so I do wish him nothing but the best, but it doesn't seem like the Rams are going to be a place where he can develop into an everyday player. I kind of compare him to an end-of-the-bench NBA guy, where you hope he's good in the locker room, he's good for the team morale, but he's not necessarily ready to give the Rams key snaps. And that's okay. You don't need every player to be ready to give you key snaps, but if you're only going to play a guy around 100 snaps a year, mostly on special teams most likely, it's not necessarily ideal to be paying him $1 million. So I do agree with this one, and comment down below if you do as well. And now we have to get to Quintez Cephus, the wide receiver. Cephus should also be on the chopping block if the Rams like 7th-round pick Konota Mumpfeld enough. Cephus hasn't played a regular season snap since 2022, and releasing him saves the Rams $1.1 million in salary cap. It also would allow Mumpfeld to move up the depth chart a little bit. I do know Daniel Jeremiah and Louis Riddick were very high on Mumpfeld. I am as well, Mumpfeld, excuse me. I do agree with cutting Cephus. I think Mario Williams deserves that last receiver spot over Cephus, the undrafted rookie. And for the Rams right now in that receiver room, you have Puka, Adams, Atwell are your starters. And I do believe Jordan Whittington has that 4th receiver spot. And now you got 5th and 6th. I think 5th should be Mumpfeld and 6th should be Mario Williams, as well as Xavier Smith or Britton Covey. One of them. Maybe he's a 6th receiver. You only use him as a returner as well. I do agree with Cephus being cut. I liked him a lot at Wisconsin. He was good. He had a good rookie year with the Lions a few years back, but he got suspended for some gambling infractions for a year in 2022. He was cut by the Bills and the Texans last season before joining the Rams practice squad in November. So if he's on the practice squad, fine, but then again, I don't think they need to be paying him if they know that he's not going to be really on the depth chart at all or playing really any snaps, because he hasn't played a snap since 2022, which should tell the Rams something that other teams saw that he wasn't quite at the level that he needs to be to get snaps. So comment that down below as well. And who do you think will get the last wide receiver spot? Comment that down below. And now we have to get to our secondary story of today. As I said earlier, Les Snead was having a lot of fun with the media here at OTAs. And today, he was asked a pretty funny, seemingly simple question, but not quite. Which Super Bowl appearance team was better? The 2018 Rams or the 2021 Rams? And also comment that down below before I give my opinion. 2018 or 2021? The Los Angeles Rams have made 2 Super Bowls in the past 10 seasons, once in 2018 when they lost to the Patriots, and then when they won in 2021 over the Bengals. Both made the Super Bowl in different manners. The 2018 team relied on a high-powered offense under second-year head coach Sean McVay. The 2021 team, meanwhile, swapped Goff for Stafford under center and had a much more balanced approach between offense and defense. Les Snead was also the general manager of both teams and had a simple answer when ex-Titans GM Rand Carthen asked him which team would win in a game. We're getting Les Snead's answer for you right now. 2021, Snead said, they won it. They were very connected. There were a lot of people on the team who were part of the 18 team. So there's that element of hunger. Really the starvation of that taste versus that element of when you first get there. That's a very valid point from Les Snead. A lot of that team did stay the same. There wasn't too much turnover. Again, the running back position was mainly where there was a lot of turnover. Some of the defense was the same, and some of the O-linemen in the offense was the same as well. So having a lot of players from the previous team from 2018 on 2021 made them better in Snead's opinion. Comment down below if you agree, and stay tuned to the end because I'm going to give you my take at the end. And make sure to like this video for Super Bowls. If you like this video, the Rams do have a better chance of going to the Super Bowl. So make sure you like it right now. Here we go. The key elements of Snead's reasoning make sense. The 2021 team won it, so clearly they were the better team. But they also had the intangible element of having a taste of the Super Bowl, missing out on it, and then getting another shot at a ring. Yeah, I fully agree with that sentiment that when a team loses, they're even hungrier to get back to that spot, to get back to a place where they have a shot to win a title. Although those players wanted even more, the coaches wanted even more, some coaching changes there as well, mainly a D coordinator from Wade Phillips in 2018. A lot of people forget that. To Raheem Morris in 2021. Clearly, too, Snead does not want to get into the Goff versus Stafford argument. While Goff thrived under McVay, Stafford was good enough to take the team over the edge, where Goff could not. Now, this I fully agree. I think Stafford's always been a better quarterback than Goff. Goff, really nice year last year. But Stafford, I think he was able to take them over the top due to his better play, his better arm. I don't really want to say better accuracy, around the same, but I think better clutch play and better overall play calling and decision making from Stafford evens that out right there. Stafford's definitely better than Goff. Comment that down below as well. Who do you think has been better as a Ram, Goff or Stafford? I would say Stafford. There are other elements to consider as well. The 2018 team had a much better running game with Todd Gurley, shout out Todd Gurley, compared to the 2021 combination of Darrell Henderson and Sony Michel. However, the 2021 squad had Cooper Kupp's Triple Crown season to raise the rest of the receiving room, while 2018 had Robert Woods and Brandon Cooks with Kupp on injured reserve. That is true, 2018 Kupp was hurt, and that was the beginning of Gurley's arthritis in that playoff run. They had C.J. Anderson, who was really good for the Rams in that small sample size, fill in for Gurley. You also had Robert Woods. You had Marcus Peters on that roster as well. Not good memories of Marcus Peters for me. As well as Michael Brockers, Aqib Talib. Had a lot of older style players. Brandon Cooks there as well, who seemed like he was always in a Super Bowl there in the late 2010s, or always competing for one. 2021, obviously, you had the running backs. You had Jalen Ramsey. That was his early tenure there as a Ram as well on that defense. So definitely some different teams to look at for that. Defensively, the 2018 team was not great. They ranked 20th in points allowed and last in rushing yards per attempt. The 2021 defense was much better across the board, with fewer points allowed per game, 24 versus 21, and the 6th best rushing defense in the NFL. And while that unit allowed a lot of passing yards, they didn't allow passing touchdowns. In the end, Snead's assessment is the only one that matters. The 2021 team won the thing, while the 2018 team didn't. Also, 2018, Corey Littleton got him in back-to-back videos, so that made me smile. Like this video for Corey Littleton yet again. And now, time for my take on this matter. I agree with Les Snead that the 2021 team was better. Again, Todd Gurley is my favorite Ram of all time, so as much as I want to pick 2018, I'm going 2021 because they won, and I do believe that team was overall better. OBJ was balling in that Super Bowl as well. If he didn't get hurt, probably would have won Super Bowl MVP over Cooper Kupp. Also, Eli Apple, real Super Bowl MVP. If you know, you know. And I do agree with Snead that 2021's team is better for all the reasons that this article laid out as well from Rams Wire. And that's all for this episode of Rams Digest. Thank you very much for watching another episode of Rams Digest. And make sure to comment down below who you think should get cut, whether it's Colby Parkinson or Davis Allen, Darion Kendrick, or Emmanuel Forbes, as well as which team was better, 2018 or 2021. Like this video if you haven't already. Like this video for Corey Littleton and for the Rams to win the Super Bowl this year. And make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell to all so that you do not miss any daily new Rams Digest uploads covering all things Rams. I've been your host, Joshua Finehirsh. Thank you for watching another episode of Rams Digest. I'll see you soon for another one, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.